Control. Your on-air automotive magazine with co-hosts Fred Staab and Les Jackson.
Control.
Everything you need to know about new and used cars.
Control.
Industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air.
Control.
Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin.
Control.
Because you're on cruise control. Cruise control. Cruise control.
And welcome to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Hello, everyone. It's Fred Staab and also Les Jackson. We make a plan to be here every week at this time and bring you along on our ride around the automotive industry. We've got a lot of great news about new vehicles, about new technology, and we're also going to have an at-the-wheel review as well, Les. So a lot to get to, but you have a story about EVs. Is their future endangered?
It isn't in danger. Could the electric car revolution come to a halt thanks to a shortage of one key component? We'll tell you what that is.
Zip ties. Zip ties. That's what it is.
Zip ties. Well, I was thinking money. But
well,
it's neither.
We'll talk about that. And over at Volkswagen, they are celebrating the last manual Golf, and we'll tell you how they're going to do it with a special model.
Wow. Well, bye-bye manual transmission. And Fisker's new crossover called the Pear. The Pear.
You almost choked on it.
I'm so taken back by the name. The Pear, as in the fruit, might be $22,000 EV people are looking for. Let me tell you, that's a game changer.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty slick looking vehicle, and we will talk about it. Of course, it's being marketed as a vehicle for young people. That typically means people 60 and older buy the vehicle.
Right, exactly.
But I think it looks good. Maybe a little bit of a strange name, though. We'll talk about that. Something that does not have a strange name is Aston Martin, and we're going to tell you about the big event they have going on. They're going to show off some of their vintage vehicles, and they're also going to reveal the Aston Martin DB12 Volante, and the reveal is going to be in the UK. We'll tell you where it is going to be revealed in the UK.
Very cool. Wonderful brand. And as the Tesla turns,
oh my,
we told you so. Anyway, wide bodies, price cuts, and structural cracks. Yeah, more wonderful flaws from the company. You know those wonderful folks who brought you zip ties and bumpers falling off.
Yeah, it's sadly, I mean, I don't want it to be this way, but it is.
I don't either.
But, really, it's something we have to report on. And something a little bit more fun to report on than that, I will have an at-the-wheel review of the Genesis G80 Electrified. Incredible vehicle. So we'll talk about that when we come back on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Stay tuned.
Control.
Hey, welcome to Cruise Control. This is your on-air automotive magazine, and you know us. So we won't even introduce ourselves again, but we're going to tell you what we are going to introduce, which is kind of the big fear of the electric car industry. And that means the entire auto industry, because everybody's making them. There's a lithium shortage. And that ain't good.
No. It is just a soaring appetite for this. And really, it takes a long time to open lithium mines. and it could be the next chip shortage, basically, couldn't it? And it would specifically affect electric cars.
It could very well be, and the prediction is that this will happen around 2025. That's when the shortage will just start logarithmically increasing, the demand, that is, and it's an expensive metal to mine and clean up and all that stuff. Plus, the lithium resources aren't in all the best places around the world for security.
Yeah, this was originally reported by CNBC, and they spoke to Corinne Blanchard, director of lithium and clean tech equity research at Deutsche Bank. She said that there will be a deficit of 40 to 60,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent by the end of 2025, and that will increase to a shortage of 768,000 tons by the end of 2030. Now, that's
huge.
There are things to help this along, and basically, what about switching from lithium to there's one group proposing seaweed, right?
Well, the designers of batteries for vehicles are looking at every possible item on the periodic chart of elements, because you want to find something ideally that's plentiful and safe and cheap. And right now, lithium is the main thing they're using for batteries that have a very, very good charge to weight to size capacity.
Right.
Interestingly, I saw James May, whom we all know from Top Gear and Grand Tour. He happened to be showing on one of his videos an electric car made in the 70s by one of I think a defense supplier, and it used 9 regular deep charge marine type lead acid batteries.
Okay.
Taking up about a square meter or so. And he showed one little lithium ion battery pack currently used in cars, the size of a pound of butter.
Wow.
And they were exactly the same amount of storage.
That is incredible.
So that's what we're looking at.
Now, what does lithium actually do in the battery? What is it?
It's the kind of the catalyst that allows the chemical reaction to happen. About 26 pounds of it are used in the typical electric car.
Okay. Now, Japanese scientists are looking into magnesium as a replacement that could be safer, so you don't have the runaway fires, could result in increased driving ranges. And one group is talking about seaweed, which we have a lot of. So
I vote for seaweed here.
You take a rake and go down to the beach, and you get as much as you need, right?
Yeah, because seaweed has a lot of metal in it.
I'll remember that next time I eat sushi.
Yeah, don't eat with a magnet close by. Yeah, the fact is magnesium is much more plentiful, but it also can burn.
Pretty dramatically, actually, right?
Yes, but not as bad as lithium.
Wow. Well, I mean, do you think electric cars got ahead of themselves? So that battery tech should have been a little bit further along than it is.
Well,
we can discuss that after the break, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I think there are a lot of factors. But it's not like they didn't know this was going to happen.
All right. Well, we know there will be more cruise control happening, so stay tuned. I'm Fred Staab. He is Les Jackson. Plenty more news from the automotive world coming up, so we will take a break and be right back.
Cruise Control.
Hey, welcome back to Cruise Control. We have not solved the lithium shortage.
Although we did take a break, Les. I thought we would have it solved, but we didn't.
Well, yeah, that's true. But but the bottom line is the Piedmont Lithium's chief officer, Austin Devaney, says there'll be plenty of lithium in the future to support the needs of consumers and automakers. He didn't say how. But the fact is, there are going to be alternatives.
Yes, there will.
Guarantee there will be energy storage devices coming up that are not necessarily lithium based.
Now, would solid state batteries fix this?
Sure.
All right. Well, there you go. Pretty cool stuff. But let's just delve back in to the now. A vehicle that doesn't need lithium, or not that much of it.
No.
Maybe it does have some. I don't know. But Volkswagen is celebrating the end of the manual transmission available in the Golf. The Golf GTI 380. It's the last chance to own a manual Golf GTI. It's a good-looking bugger, isn't it?
It really is. And, like so few other vehicles, the Golf has always been fun to drive. The GTIs have always been even more fun and cheap, relatively speaking.
Although this one's not that cheap.
Well, nothing's cheap anymore.
$32,000 for the S, $37,285 for the SE, and $40,625 for the Autobahn.
In terms of grins per mile, and grins and other smiles of ownership, it's hard to beat one of these things.
Yeah, it's true.
They're just fun.
They are. So they're celebrating. Where does 380 come from? By the way, I love the plaid seats. That was the one vehicle I would get the plaid seats in. I just love them.
Yeah, well, you have to get the plaid seats.
So 380 is part of the name that comes from the internal model code for the current generation Mark 8 Golf. And it is just like Z28, it's just a number internal that ends up being the model name, right?
Right.
So this will include it will be available in deep pearl black, Atlantis blue metallic, King's red metallic, reflex silver metallic, moonstone gray, opal white pearl, and it will have the scale paper plaid cloth seats. And
that's a neat name.
But the Vienna leather upholstery that comes in the Autobahn trim is also available as an added extra on the mid-range SE. No performance gains, not that it really needs it. But it will begin, as I said, at $32,485 for the S, $37,285 for the SE, and $40,625. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can get the plaid seats on the Autobahn edition, but you need to get the plaid seats, the scale.
Well,
paper.
yeah. I mean, you kind of have to have the plaid seats.
That says GTI.
Yeah, and it's not an in-your-face bright plaid. It's a nice muted, dignified kind of plaid.
Yeah. The 7-speed dual-clutch GSG transmission will carry forward on future GTI models and the Golf R. I just love the black wheels with the red calipers and the white car. Yeah. It's a good look.
Just such a cool car.
Yeah, and a cool car. So we have on our Facebook page, we have a couple of pictures of it with the original GTI. So it's kind of fun to see that too, how the car is growing up, and now it's going off to car college.
Well,
What does that mean?
it got old while it wasn't looking.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So a little bit about the way Golf is going to celebrate a manual. Volkswagen is going to celebrate a manual GTI, the 380, and I'm sure they will be sold very quickly. Let's talk about a model we don't really talk about much or manufacture, but we should actually. We should have Fisker back on the show. He's been on the show before, and he's an interesting guy. Truly a guy that, you think about, you fail and you get back up again and you just keep going. And that's what business is all about, really. You learn from it and move on. I don't understand the name of this vehicle, but I kind of like it because it is like a small utility that's got some fun and funkiness to it. I like how the windshield comes around like a bubble, like the old Chevys. You see the A-pillar kind of bends around. It is potentially a $22,000 electric car. It will be built in the USA in collaboration with Foxconn at a factory in Ohio. It's unclear if it will receive the full $7,500 tax credit because it relies on where the battery is made. We'll have to see. It would be great if it did. But if it gets that, it could be an entry-level price of $22,400. And these days, anything that's below $25,000 is a pretty good bet. There'll be two versions, one with 180,000 mile range.
That's quite a range.
Yeah, I would be happy with that. You don't need to go for the 180-mile range, and then there'll be a long-range version with 320. And it will be available in rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. They're talking about a 6.3 second 0 to 60 time, and there will also be a Pear Extreme, which will be the hot rod version. Up front, it has sort of a instead of a frunk with a hood that opens, it has sort of a slide-out drawer, which you can put things in, which weirdly Fisker himself said would be great for putting your sweaty workout clothes in, which I found bizarre, but
I don't know about that.
Or a pizza. He said you can make it insulated where you can keep a pizza warm and heated. That's kind of fun.
It's interesting.
But I wouldn't put the two of them in that drawer at the same time, though.
No.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting vehicle. I look forward to checking it out. It looks like it's got a solar cell on the roof. We got some pictures up on our Facebook page of this, too. You can check out Cruise Control Radio Facebook page. But what do you think, Les?
I find it very intriguing, and I also find it attractive. I don't care much for the wheels, but that's always the case with super modern vehicles for me. But the rest of it, is appealing. I think, hey, good for you. By the way, I've seen it. I've seen it, not this, but I've seen an actual video commercial for Fisker.
Wow. I have not seen that. I think you get more of them down where you are because, I think they're trying to influence people.
Yeah, they're trying to get noticed by the politicians.
Yeah. But, he's also got the Ocean coming out. He's talked about a pickup truck called Alaska. So, interesting. I say go Fisker. It's interesting. I won't store sweaty socks in the front, but maybe a pizza.
Well, I would just fill it up with bananas.
It's just bizarre.
And they're good for you.
Yeah. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. It really is all good. Let's talk about another brand we should talk more about, Aston Martin. Aston Martin. Well, we will talk more about the DB12 Volante. Actually, the DB12 Volante, incredible looking drop head plus some of their vintage carry-on vehicles, too. Carry-on vehicles. We will talk about that when we come back on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Stay tuned.
Go to Blenheim
Cruise
Palace,
Control.
too.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Don't we just love talking about Aston Martins? We should talk about them more often.
It is. I've said it many, many times. It's my favorite car overall of the thousands I've tested over the years, and it's not because it's the best, but it's because it's the classiest mix of style, beautiful performance, plenty. Comfort, just everything.
It makes a statement.
It's just wonderful.
It definitely makes a statement when you take a look at this. And we're going to talk about the DB12 Volante drop head UK debut coming up. That is a little bit of a vintage.
That would be a rather old Aston Martin.
Right. That will not be revealed, but it will be on display, actually. So it is happening at the Salon Privé, this Salon Privé at the Blenheim Palace.
Blenheim, sir.
Okay, and it's going on till today. Further, 22 cars from the brand. Some remarkable history will be on display, including an Aston Martin for every automotive palette, including the 2022 DBR22, 2020 DB5 Goldfinger continuation, 2015 Vantage GT12, 2016 Vantage GT8, and the list goes on and on and on, including some cars from 1936, the 2-liter Speed Spa Special, and a 1936 Red Dragon Speed, and a 1920s Bamford and Martin. Man, incredible. What a collection of vehicles. This is marking Aston Martin's 110th anniversary on Friday the 1st, September 1st, yesterday, and they're showcasing their vehicles and revealing the DB12 Volante convertible drop head to you, and that is just an incredible vehicle. What a statement that makes, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no other car like them. They're just gorgeous, great to drive. If only there were enough money to have one.
Yes. Well, now let's take a turn. Shall we take a turn?
Let's take a turn.
How about as the Tesla turns? Do you want to do that?
Well, yes.
There's a mixed bag. We'll start with the good, because I like to start off with the good. And there is a company making a wide-body kit for the Model S, which I think looks pretty cool. The vehicle is called the Dark Knight. It is a carbon wide-body kit for the vehicle. Flares out the fenders. This is for the Tesla S Model S Plaid. And it is actually quite impressive. I think it's a good-looking wide-body kit, if you ask me. How about you?
It actually is good-looking. It's the first front end of a Tesla I've seen that looks good.
It is from a company called S Apex, and they've worked with the Franz von Holzhausen, the designer of the vehicle, to make everything fit and look good. And it kind of gives an aggressive look to the Model S Plaid to match its performance. Aggressive stance, the wide fenders. I think it's quite nice. Sports dynamic lowering kit, adjustable rear sway bar. They didn't have to do anything with the performance, just really the handling of the vehicle. They've upped it. If it's got carbon fiber trim pieces, I just think it's a good look. I really do, and I think that would really highlight a Tesla Model S Plaid, which it has incredible performance on its own. The Dark Knight. This is according to the company S Apex. The Dark Knight reinforces their mission to cater to Tesla enthusiasts, delivering an unparalleled, uniting power, sustainability, and individuality.
There you go.
But it has that dumb yoke on the inside. I would definitely get rid of that thing.
We gotta scratch the yoke.
Yeah, red vegan leather on the inside, always a good look on any sports car. So kind of cool. But there's other things to talk about when it comes to Tesla, and this next one is pretty good. It involves the Model 3, the 2024 Model 3. You know, you and I have been talking about a lot of 2024 models. Internally, it's known as Project Highland. It is the updated Model 3. It's getting rid of that weird kind of bump on the nose and making it smoother, a little bit more aerodynamic. It'll also be lighter. Supposedly, we don't know if this is official numbers, but they're saying 3,891 pounds, lighter than the current 4,034 pounds. Better overall range. Standard range rear-wheel drive will now cover up to 319 miles, up from 305. And the long range goes from 374 to 391. Those are both good things. And charging rate has been updated with up to 175 miles of range added after 15 minutes of charging. If that's up from 147. So that's great. Updated C-shaped taillights, fresh multi-spoke wheel designs, and this is a mid-cycle refresh, but a pretty good one. Doesn't it sound like it?
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing is, the Model 3 has its ups and downs, but he sells an awful lot of them.
They're also going to do a lounge-like interior with aluminum and fabric materials. Ambient lighting has been added, while acoustic glass enhances the soundproofing. Okay, so that's good news. And
that's good news.
Also good news if you're looking for a current Model 3 Tesla. They're going to be chopping the prices. In New York right now, discounts are $3,300 for the standard range rear-wheel drive model and $4,900 for the long-range all-wheel drive model and $5,400 for performance all-wheel drive models. They're blowing these out. This is after a big price decrease in Tesla Model 3s and across the board. But now the new model's on the way, so they're blowing them out. If you want one, probably a good time to buy one, right?
Well, yeah, this is a good time because these discounts are, they're good. So if you're looking for one, get it before they stop offering it. Although I think it's probably good for at least the rest of the year.
Yeah. They're also building a supercharger diner and theater on 7001 West Santa Monica Boulevard. Okay, so there's some good news here from Tesla. Now for the bad.
Yeah, well, it's never far away.
You don't get. I figured I'd give the good news. But first, they'd use this technique called giga casting. Matter of fact, I believe Ford is going to start doing giga casting. But there's an owner, a Model Y owner, Nizar Kamel, who posted on Auto Evolution. He was told that his car may have been delivered without a brake cap. Let's see, a brake fluid reservoir cap, which seems like a bad thing not to have. But so he took the closeout panel off, the plastic closeoff panel, to look at what it might. Is his car affected? Good news, he did not have that problem. He had the brake fluid reservoir cap, but he also found heavy cracks in a casting, an important casting of the Model Y. I mean, really bad cracks. We don't have the rights to show you the pictures of this, but it's pretty severe, isn't it?
It's pretty severe, and I certainly would be very worried about it.
Yes. So the Giga casting allows the faster production of a single aluminum casting instead of multiple welding to put these things together. So this guy brought the vehicle back to Tesla, and they said it was safe to drive. He said it was never in an accident. So we'll have to see what this brings. But it's certainly interesting, isn't it? All right.
Well, they're saying that it's safe to drive in this state, and the only way to know for sure if it's dangerous is to put a couple 100,000 miles on it and have it not break.
We'll be right back with more Cruise Control after this.
Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. Fred Staab and Les Jackson with you. We are glad. And we have another At the Wheel review. Incredible brand. This time we're talking about the G80 Electrified sedan from over at Genesis. Beautiful car. What I like about this, and I don't know what the industry term is, but this looks just like the G80. You can't really tell the difference too easily unless you look closely at the front grille. It is set up just like a standard internal combustion car as far as the electric motor in the front, the all-wheel drive, and I like that. And the interior is not just one big screen. It is like a traditional car, but it happens to be electric. On the inside, we have a beautiful interior from the folks at Genesis. The upholstery is incredible, that kind of white beige with some black piping on it, all the stitch work. A very, very cool interior. This was interesting. It's sort of a burl wood plastic matte finish. I'm not quite sure about this, but this was special to the electrified edition of the vehicle. All of the touch points and the controls are very similar to the internal combustion version of the G80, including the rotary dial for changing up your gears, or basically putting in drive. You still also get the different drive modes. So you have comfort, sport, eco, and that's great in an electric car. I mean, although frankly, the way this thing accelerates, I kept it in the eco mode. Also, you get their great infotainment system. Just love the presentation of the graphics. It's got things like voice memo and all kinds of different infotainment options. Beautiful interior, even down to the grills for the sound system. Out back, great room. Really good room for the passengers. You have a nice portion of rear legroom, which is really nice. And you have controls for HVAC. I'm not sure if we had heated rear seats. I don't think we did on this model. I'd have to check, but you certainly have enough control of your HVAC. You also get a tilt-down panel and cup holder, and yes, you can have fun with the rear screen, sunscreen, that will go up and down on that rear panel, fold-down armrest. But overall, just a gorgeous interior. White and black, high contrast, has that matte finish on the dash. They just do an incredible job with interiors. Just everything's well integrated and looks great. Out back is the trunk. You lose a little space in the back Of course, you are provided with a charger, but you get that hump for the battery, but it's actually not that bad, and it's nicely covered up and nicely finished as all Genesis cars. Underneath the hood, well, if you didn't know any better and it didn't say EV, it sort of looks like a V6 sitting under there, but it is actually an electric motor. Ours was all-wheel drive, had 365 horsepower, a front 136 kilowatt motor, and a rear 136 kilowatt motor. You have to look a little bit for the magic G to hit the recharge panel or to open the recharge panel, which is great. It does allow fast charging, 350 kilowatt rapid charging from 10% to 80% in just 22 minutes. We loved the way the vehicle drove. I mean, Genesis vehicles are quiet on their own, but when you add in electric power, well, they just get even quieter. And it's got, I'll call it the boss-like standing. The short rear decks, I should say, it's got the boss-like rear styling. The long front hood and the short rear deck, and it is just beautiful. I have to say, they really make a statement, these vehicles, and there's a lot of great technology there. It's almost like Genesis has easily transformed their vehicles and electrified their vehicles. You know, they didn't go overboard. They didn't say, oh, it has to look completely different because it's an electric vehicle. It has to be out there style-wise. It's like they took everything good that Genesis offered, and then they electrified it. And I think that's a great thing. All-electric range, 282 on this vehicle. Not bad at all. As I said, 365 horsepower. If you charged it up with a standard charger, 110 volt, 80 hours. At level 2, it would take 7 hours and 22 minutes. And rapid charging, 350 kilowatts, 800 volts, which is becoming common these days, from 10% to 80% charge in 22 minutes. I have to say I like that the charge port is on the front less. If you're charging your vehicle in the driveway, this makes a lot of sense. And frankly, there's no downside to that, even if you're charging it at a charging station. It seems to work out really well. I'm not quite sure I like the plastic trim on the dashboard, but you know, it's not something that would make me not want to buy this vehicle. Now let's talk about pricing, shall we? This is the 2023 electrified G80 all-wheel drive, and ours really didn't have any options because just like all of the vehicles from Genesis, it comes very well equipped, full crash avoidance, forward collision avoidance, lane keeping, lane following, blind spot collision avoidance, blind spot view monitor, rear cross traffic, highway driving assist, smart cruise control with stop and go, driver attention warning, high beam assist. You don't even have to think about it. It's got everything. We told you about the 136 kilowatt front and rear motors, which do a great job of moving this vehicle along. 19-inch wheels, power door closure, which is great. It has a microfiber suede headliner, leatherette-wrapped upper instrument panel, microfiber suede headliner and pillars, driver seat with power cushion extension. I had to figure that one out because I thought, why are my legs being feeling strange? I figured out how to get that cushion down in the front. Heated power tilt and telescopic steering wheel, power rear and manual rear door sunscreens, premium navigation with a 14.5-inch screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Lexicon premium sound, a 12.3-inch 3D digital cluster, head-up display, active noise control. It's so quiet on the inside. Wireless device charger in the front, and vehicle-to-load charging. You get your 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile electric vehicle system warranty, and 7-year unlimited anti-perforation. Okay, so let's talk price. Our only option was the Capri Blue paint, which was $575. The manufacturer suggested retail price is $79,825. You add in $1,095 destination. The total for this vehicle is $81,495. But it is just an incredible vehicle. I mean, it just blows you away. I mean, somehow Genesis has made it that everything they do is a hit. And I have to say I'm a big fan of the brand. And I also like, as I said, that this is a G80. So everything you like about it, you shouldn't have to give up, and you don't have to because it's electrified. I think it's a hit. How about you?
I agree fully. You just can't do better than Genesis.
Yeah, I mean, they are pricey, but they're worth it. And if you went to price something similar on another manufacturer, you probably pay $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 more.
Yep,
hey, it's time for me to say I'm Fred Staab.
I'm Les Jackson.
We are going to see you down the road.
Bye.